Hello. So, it is, I don't even know what video number. I'll say video 7, maybe something like that. We're like mom moments. I'm kind of changing title of everything a little bit. I don't know what I even changed to, because I've changed a couple times in the last couple days, but it's still the same Julie. And here I am sitting. I usually am not sitting in my chair when I do this, but today I thought I'd do it from my chair. This is where I'm spending most of the time right now. Remember, because I told you I have a cast. Yep, there it is. You got to see it. I have a cast on my foot because I had surgery a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, it wasn't planned. Remember, I dropped a knife and cut a tendon, and fun times ever since. So I hope, gosh, it's dark and light and dark and light. I think you can see me now. So I was just sitting here and thought, okay, my kiddos are at the store for me right now, and I'm just kind of like, boo-hoo. I thought I'd post a little video. One of the thoughts I was been having lately is hair. Okay, not hair on your head. Because what is the deal about hair growing in other places? Like, when you're young, your eyebrows are where they're supposed to be. And then as time goes on, all of a sudden you noticed, oh, wait a minute, I got some in between, or I have some down here. Once you realize these things, this is a vicious downward spiral, people. Trying to make that look right, golly geez. Maybe we should just go to the Unibrow. We're all working so hard and there's a fly in here. And spending money, like to have people thread us and all this kind of stuff, or wax us, or whatever we're doing. If we just all accept it and go with the Unibrow, then we wouldn't have to put so much time and energy into it. Fluff that little puppy up and stuff. It'd be like something extra to add to the bangs. Remember, I had bang issues, so if I had a little extra to add to it right there, that'd actually be a good thing. But I can't do this by myself. I would need your support if we went in this direction. So maybe that's something we can think about in the future. Anyways, I try to do it myself, and I'm not really that great at it. And now my eyebrows are starting to get a couple gray hairs in them. So then that's another issue. So in all fairness, I usually color my eyebrows when I go to get my hair colored. But now that I've started coloring myself, I was like, okay, so I'm sure you just use the same stuff, right? So I was doing that whole, look it up, check it up, right? And thank goodness you start reading, they're like, don't use regular hair dye on your eyebrows, you can go blind. What? Okay, so I didn't do that. So now I'm like trying to have to research that. Now you got to get this brow dye color and stuff. Really, people? Really? Why are we doing this to ourselves? But we are. It is what it is. And then what is that? All of a sudden you noticed you have a funny one in your nose, or you have a funny one in your ear. My husband and I are always laughing because I'm always having to help him with all those little spare ones here and there. Like they start growing from inside. Dudes seem to have more of this issue. That's what I'm talking about. Inside the ear, around the edge, or, that kind of fun stuff. Isn't that fun? Part of aging. We're so lucky, right? If we could just direct those hairs to grow where we want them to grow, because then we have other places that we don't have as much hair. Like I've got issues up here on the top, and my husband has a little spot in the back, but it's growing in other places. Really? So why was that, like a good thing to happen? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a good thing to happen to me, but whatever. I guess it's our life. I guess we'll have to deal with it. So pretending like I know what I'm doing. And then I was like, okay, I'll just pencil them in all the time. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So went and got a eyebrow pencil and all that kind of stuff. And some days I do it and I'm like, I feel good about that. And other days I'm like, ooh, oh no, I look like that lady. I'm trying to think what her name is. She's from Mr. Rogers. She's like a little puppet, but she has these crazy looking eyebrows. Some days I feel a little bit like that. But, that is the beauty of the fact that I wear big glasses, because that does kind of cover that up then. So it takes care of that, right? So that's just one of my thoughts recently. See, remember we cut those bangs? They're okay. They could be worse. They could be better, but they could be worse. And that's what we're going to focus on. The fact that they're not the worst they could be, right? So anyways, but I'm just sitting in my chair. Just to let you know, my chair's not orange. I'm just like, a little old person that has a sheet on their chair. Because remember, I'm sitting in it all the time right now. I'm having to, oh great, you got to see arm fat too when I did that. So pretend like you didn't see that. My fancy editing crew will take that out. I don't have a fancy editing crew, so just pretend you didn't see it, okay? So, anyways, so here I am. You know, another thought I was going to talk about was getting your kid ready for college. That's something I'm doing right now, and it's a little exhausting. Certain days I'm really sad about it because I don't want him to go. And then other days he's so ready that it's kind of like, okay, I guess you are ready for this because you do seem a little adultish today. But, you know, trying to get your kid ready for college because they got to take all this stuff with them. And it's like, what do they need? What do they not need? Oh my gosh, this is overwhelming, people. So if you have ideas for me about just the simple way to get them out the door so they have the right stuff, that'd be helpful. You could let me know. We're like checking into different, storage packets and, all that kind of stuff, whatever. He's got some basic stuff already, but oh well. I think he'll survive. I can't send him with 6 months of chonies, so he's gonna have to do laundry one way or another. There's no way around that. But in reality, I'm sure these kiddos, I think they probably push it a little bit. It's not like at home. He'll find out there's no magic underwear drawer that, boom, there's just underwear in again, right? That's what tends to happen, I think, when we go off on our own, right? Anyways, and then that whole there's no one cooking for me, that'll probably be a little bit of a realization. But he's been starting to barbecue lately, which is helpful, but then he won't have a barbecue in college. So yeah, that's real helpful, Mom. Good job. Anyways, he's a great kid. I'm sure he'll do fine. I'm the stressor. He's not. So, okay. Well, that's just a couple of my thoughts at the moment that I'm sharing with you. And I was just going to say, maybe today we've been talking about taking care of ourselves. So I say eat something yummy today that's good for you. Like some fresh fruit. It's a great time of year for that. Like we have all the stands where I live. There's fresh local fruit stands. We've been getting fresh peaches. We just got some fresh apricots that my mother-in-law brought by. So that's a blessing of California for sure. So eat some fresh fruit today, maybe. And encourage your family to do the same, because why not? It's good for you. We got to feed the soul, right? And we're just trying to get along through all of this, and it's our new normal, right? And so as we're starting to feed back into our world, just go out there, spread love, and remember that we're all in this together. And by that, I literally mean everyday life. So be kind, spread love, and look at people like Jesus looks at people. And I think everything will just be fine then. Okay? Love you all. Talk to you later.